Opening cinematic music fades in with footage of helicopters flying over deserts and jungles, zooming in on a Bell AH-1S Cobra in action. The rotor blades slice through the air. Dust kicks up from the earth as the shadow of death glides above. Sleek, narrow, menacing, a flying serpent designed not to defend, but to strike. This is the Bell AH-1S Cobra, a machine forged in the fire of war, built to dominate the battlefield and refined through decades of combat evolution. Today, on Military Technology Power, we dive deep into the legacy, design, power, and battlefield role of the R-1's Cobra, the attack helicopter that became the backbone of many militaries around the world. To understand the R-1's Cobra, we need to go back, not just to the Vietnam War, but to the very concept of what made helicopters more than just flying ambulances. Before attack helicopters like the Cobra existed, helicopters were used mostly for transport and casualty evacuation. But by the 1960s, warfare had changed, and the United States needed a gunship, something fast, heavily armed, and agile. That's when Bell Helicopter stepped up with a new design, a dedicated attack helicopter. Enter the R-1 Cobra family, the first of its kind. The AH-1S was an upgraded variant of the original AH-1G Cobra. Where the AH-1G proved the concept in Vietnam, the AH-1s refined it for the modern battlefield. The S model wasn't just a minor update. It represented a significant enhancement in firepower, survivability, and avionics. Developed in the 1970s, the AH-1s incorporated lessons learned from the harsh realities of combat and the evolving tactics of modern warfare. At its heart, the AH-1's Cobra is built for one purpose: attack. It's not a scout, it's not a transport, it's a hunter. The Cobra's narrow fuselage is designed for reduced visibility and a smaller radar cross-section. Its tandem cockpit, with the gunner in the front and the pilot in the rear, gives it a slim silhouette that makes it harder to hit, especially from the ground. The R-1s is powered by a single Lycoming T53L703 turboshaft engine, producing 1,800 shaft horsepower. That might not sound like much compared to some modern twin-engine helicopters, but when combined with the Cobra's lightweight airframe, it results in an excellent power-to-weight ratio. The helicopter is nimble, responsive, and able to operate in a wide range of environments, from the steamy jungles of Southeast Asia to the arid deserts of the Middle East. But what truly makes the R-1's Cobra deadly is its weapons suite. Armed with a chin-mounted M197 20mm 3-barrel rotary cannon, the Cobra can lay down withering fire on enemy infantry, vehicles, and light fortifications. The M197 is a variant of the Vulcan cannon, designed specifically for helicopter use. It delivers a brutal combination of high rate of fire and precision, devastating in close support scenarios. In addition to the cannon, the Cobra features 2 stub wings, each capable of carrying a range of ordnance. These include 2.75-inch Hydra 70 rockets, TOW anti-tank guided missiles, and even Sidewinder air-to-air missiles in some configurations. The ability to mix and match armament depending on the mission profile makes the R-1s incredibly versatile, capable of hunting tanks, suppressing enemy positions, and escorting convoys or troop transports. Its targeting systems, while primitive by today's standards, were cutting edge in the 70s and 80s. Night vision systems, infrared sensors, and laser rangefinders allowed the Cobra to operate in low visibility environments. Some later variants of the R-1s were upgraded with night targeting systems and heads-up displays, turning it into an all-weather, day and night combat platform. But power and firepower alone don't make a weapon great. What truly sets the R-1's Cobra apart is its battlefield record. From the jungles of Vietnam to the deserts of Iraq, and even in South Asia, this helicopter has proven itself time and again. It served extensively in the U.S. Army and was exported to multiple allied nations, including Pakistan, Israel, Jordan, South Korea, and others. In Pakistan, for example, the AH-1's Cobra played a crucial role in counterinsurgency operations and in high-altitude warfare. Despite challenging terrain and hostile environments, the Cobra proved reliable and deadly. Pakistani Cobra units have been engaged in operations against militant hideouts in rugged mountainous areas, and the R-1S's ability to strike with precision made it a vital asset in asymmetric warfare. In Israel, the Cobra earned a reputation for accuracy and effectiveness, participating in numerous operations across Lebanon and the Golan Heights. It was used to support ground troops, attack enemy armor, and suppress enemy missile sites. The feedback from pilots in real-world combat was consistent. The AH-1S was easy to fly, deadly to enemies, and trusted by the troops on the ground. But as with any weapon system, time marches on. Newer helicopters like the AH-64 Apache brought in more advanced sensors, twin engines, composite armor, and modern avionics. And yet, despite being overshadowed by newer technology, the Cobra refused to fade away. Instead, it evolved. The AH-1S Cobra was eventually upgraded to versions like the AH-1F, featuring better avionics, a laser rangefinder and tracker, an infrared suppressor, and improvements to the rotor system. These updates kept the Cobra relevant well into the 1990s and beyond. Even today, in some parts of the world, upgraded Cobras are still flying, still supporting troops, still carrying out missions, still striking fear into enemy forces. Part of the reason for the Cobra's longevity is its simplicity. It's easy to maintain compared to larger, more complex helicopters. It's cheaper to operate, and in many cases, it's good enough, especially for countries that can't afford the massive price tags of modern attack helicopters. With the right upgrades, the AH-1s can still hold its own, particularly in low-intensity conflicts or against insurgent forces. And then there's the psychological impact. When you hear that whine in the distance, when you see the silhouette of a Cobra hovering low above the treetops, you know something bad is about to happen. For the enemy, it's a symbol of power, of precision, of death from above. For the troops on the ground, it's the sound of support. A guardian angel with rocket pods. A steel serpent circling above, watching, ready to strike. Let's not forget the legacy. The AH-1S Cobra didn't just shape the battlefields of its era, it shaped how militaries think about air support. It was the first true attack helicopter. It proved the concept. It inspired everything that came after. The Apache, the Tiger, the Kamov Ka-52, the Z-10, all owe a part of their existence to the lessons learned from the Cobra. Even the U.S. Marine Corps continued to operate twin-engine Cobra derivatives, like the AH-1W Super Cobra and the AH-1Z Viper, long after the U.S. Army retired its R-1 fleet. That lineage continues today, and it all started with the original Cobra, and its improved variants like the AH-1S. So what does the future hold? Most major operators have either phased out the R-1s or are in the process of doing so. But in many parts of the world, this helicopter still flies. And not just in museums or parades, it still fights. In a world where threats continue to evolve and budgets continue to shrink, the AH-1s represents a proven, cost-effective solution for countries facing unconventional warfare. At the end of the day, the AH-1's Cobra is more than just an aircraft. It's a symbol of American military innovation. A symbol of battlefield dominance. A symbol of simplicity fused with lethality. It reminds us that technology doesn't have to be flashy to be deadly. It doesn't have to be the newest to be effective. Sometimes, it just needs to work. And the Cobra works. It has always worked. As we look back on the decades of combat history, the missions flown, the lives saved, and the enemies destroyed, the R-1's Cobra stands tall, rotor blades spinning defiantly in the winds of time. Whether flying above the dense jungles of Southeast Asia or the scorched valleys of Afghanistan, the Cobra is a predator, a survivor, and a legend. And that's why it earns its place in the history books, and on this channel, as one of the most iconic military helicopters of all time. Thank you for watching Military Technology Power. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the R-1's Cobra, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment below with your thoughts or which aircraft you want us to cover next. Until then, keep your eyes on the skies, and your mind on the machines that rule them. Outro music swells as clips of the Cobra flying and firing rockets play on screen. Fade to black.